Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the 20th full episode of Talking Sports with Miles and Andrew. Hope you enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talking Sports. As you heard, it is our 20th full length episode. So we started off on January 1st on New Year, and we've been doing it ever since. So thank you all for listening and tuning in, and we hope you're going to enjoy what we got for you today. So today we have an action-packed episode. We are talking about baseball, college football. We're talking about uh, week one of the NFL. We're talking about who deserved the weekly MVP. We're talking about Shield Spicy Situation, expansion, and the Green Bay Packers. So we got a packed episode for you guys today.
And if not already said, I am Andrew Volkman, one of the hosts, and then who you just heard was Miles Shield, my other co-host, who is making a case to be the host of the show today. I would say he's been making a great case today, man. But
Thank you.
like you said, we got a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead
Yeah.
and start out with the Milwaukee Brewers. Only a couple days ago, they got their 90th win, and last night on Saturday, they got their 91st win and officially clinched themselves into the playoffs. Now, they haven't won the division yet. The magic number is down to 6, and right now they are currently losing to the St. Louis Cardinals in the ninth inning, 3-2. We'll update you guys on that one. So right now, the Brewers looking to win the division, but right now they have punched their ticket to the playoffs and have the best record in baseball with 91 wins. So how about our hometown Milwaukee Brewers, Miles? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's honestly an honor to be a Brewer fan because we've seen them in some pretty tough spots. We saw them lose and get eliminated by the Mets last year, and it seems like every year they're coming up short. I remember when they were playing the Braves, and we were one away, and Yelich struck out, and that was it for the Brewers. They were one game or they were one series away from the World Series, I
That
believe.
was 2018. Like from 2018 to now has been the golden years of Brewers baseball. Like everyone's
Right.
gonna remember the 1982 team, Harvey's Wallbangers. But right now, from 2018 to 2025, has been the
Yeah.
golden age of Milwaukee Brewers baseball right now.
Yeah, and yet they've always come up short. So I'm really hoping that this year will be the first year the Milwaukee Brewers win the World Series. And I do believe they have the team to do it. I
Yeah,
think they have on paper. I would have never even I would have never even thought this team would be as good as they are. But they've proven it, and Andrew and I have talked about why the Brewers are doing it, their next man up mentality, the no pressure.
yep.
So I think
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of reasons that are accumulating to why this team is really good.
Yeah. All right. That's enough being said about baseball for now. Stay tuned until the end. Let's go ahead and talk about college football. Right now, they just wrapped up, I believe, their third week of competition yesterday on Saturday. So we're going to talk about the biggest stories so far in the first 3 weeks of the college football season. Miles, what do you have so far? Because I know, sorry, I had to turn around there to look at the whiteboard that we have in our room. But you want to talk about some quarterbacks in college
Yes,
football.
I do. And the main ones are Nico, the UCLA quarterback, and Arch Manning.
We don't know how to say Nico's last name. Sorry,
Yeah,
Nico.
I don't want to offend anyone. So, the UCLA quarterback Nico and Arch Manning for Texas have both underperformed greatly. And maybe Nico, I'm not going to say he completely underperformed. He has 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 608 yards on the season. He's not playing terrible, and I didn't really have the highest of hopes for him. The biggest thing I need to talk about is Arch Manning. Arch Manning is a good quarterback without a question, but there have been some shaky games for him. And on the season
Definitely.
right now, he's got 579 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. That's not awful,
No.
but we in our minds, and by we I mean all college football fans, came into this season thinking Arch Manning is going to have a Heisman type season
Yeah.
and he's going to go number one overall.
Yep.
But right now, what I'm seeing, this isn't a number one overall season. I think guys like Lenoris Sellers, Drew Allard, Garrett Nussmeier. Those guys are making a case for number one overall. But
Mm-hmm.
Arch Manning
Yep.
and Nico, those guys they're not playing the type of football that we expect them to see. And I think the way Arch Manning's season is going so far, I think he will be back for another year at Texas. And maybe we'll have a bounce back season. Maybe we will see uh, him go number one, but I don't think it'll be this year. I think it'll be next year.
All right.
And a quarterback who's shocking is Carson Beck
For Florida.
for Miami.
Sorry, Florida, Miami.
Yeah, same thing. But Carson Beck for Miami has been very, very impressive. And yes, maybe he's not the greatest quarterback in college football right now.
May not be that number one overall pick prospect that we all thought he was a couple
A
years
couple
ago.
years ago, right after Stenson Bennett's exit into the NFL. But I think Carson Beck really has shined. He's placed some great footballs into people's hands. I almost said certain words that would not have sounded well together, so I had a little bit of recovery there.
There you go.
Recovery,
Good job,
uh,
Miles.
but Carson Beck is playing better than Arch Manning.
Wow.
That's a hot take, and I'm gonna say it right now. Do I think that will be for the next, in a year? Will we be saying Carson Beck's better than Arch Manning? Absolutely not.
Do you think that experience for Carson Beck is a pretty big thing for him here compared to Arch Manning? Because Arch Manning hasn't started a full season yet.
Right.
Do you think that's? I think that might be a factor because Beck does have the experience under center in college football, so maybe that's
Yeah.
the reason.
Yeah, but I also think I said this with the Brewers. Pressure.
There you
I
go.
mean, how much pressure is there that your grandpa was in the NFL, right? Your grandpa's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Your uncle is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and
Other
your
uncle,
other uncle is
Eli,
also. You have two uncles who
Peyton
are
and
Hall of
Eli.
Fame quarterbacks. I
Yep.
mean, granted, you don't have the biggest shadow from your dad, but all around, this is a football family, and he is the most watched college football quarterback maybe ever.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a quarterback this studied, this have this much hype since Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
And Johnny Manziel's got a Netflix documentary about him, and it's not for the best reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see, you know what they say, pressure makes diamonds. So we
Yep.
could see maybe Arch Manning does get crushed, or maybe we're just forming a diamond here.
Maybe.
And I think Arch Manning could really be a diamond, and we just have to wait and see.
All right. We'll see how Arch Manning progresses throughout the year, Miles. Thank you for that. Looking at some of the major scores from the first couple weeks of the college football season, one that jumps off the page immediately from week one, Ohio State, who was ranked 3 at the time, beat Texas, who was ranked number 1. Arch Manning is also on the team there, and it was 14-7, so a very ugly game. And then LSU upset Clemson, technically, 17-10 as well. Alabama got upset by Florida State 31-17. Some other ones that I'm possibly looking at, Long Island got shot out by Florida and the University of Miami, Florida, and Carson Beck 55-0. So we were just talking about Carson Beck, and there you go. Besides that, I am not really seeing anything else. I just looked at it now. Sorry, Carson Beck is not on Florida. He's on Miami. Miami won 27-24 over Notre Dame. I don't know who Florida's quarterback is, so sorry about that. Week 2, Ohio State shut out Grambling State 70-0. Take that as you will, Miles. I guess 70-0. Ohio State
Yeah.
against Grambling State. Anything else I am looking at? Look, I'm just looking in real time at this. See if anything crazy. Mississippi State upset Arizona State 24-20, and Arizona State is ranked number 12. South Florida, after winning week 1 against Boise State, who was ranked 25, upset Florida, who was ranked 13, 18-16. I know I just said a lot of numbers there. I trust you guys can figure that out, hopefully. Looking at some other stuff, Baylor upset SMU in double overtime, 48-45. And with that being said, I think those are all the big games. There's a lot of blowouts in week 2, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
And beyond that, looking at week 3 now, LSU got another victory over Florida. Florida is now unranked. Miami jumped up to number 5 and took down South Florida, who jumped up to number 18 in the country. Texas A&M upset Notre Dame 41-40. Texas A&M is 16 and Notre Dame is 8. Vanderbilt upset number 11 South Carolina 31-7. That was a really big game. Georgia Tech upset Clemson, who's ranked number 12, 24-21. And beyond that, I think those are all the big games for that. Now, looking at the rankings heading into week 4, Ohio State, Penn State, LSU, University of Miami, Georgia, and Oregon, and Florida State all undefeated, and those are the top 7, followed by Texas, who is at number 8, number 9, Illinois, 10, Texas A&M, 11, Oklahoma, 12, Iowa State, 13, Ole Miss, 14, Alabama, 15, Tennessee, 16, Utah, 17, Texas Tech, 18, Georgia Tech, 19, Indiana, 20, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is ranked 20. 20
Wow.
Vanderbilt is ranked 20th in the country.
I
That's
actually,
crazy.
I actually want to go to Vanderbilt. That'd be a fun school.
That would be kind of cool.
Just because I want to be in Nashville. Nashville's the party city. That's where I want to be.
Yeah. I love that. 21 Michigan, 22 Auburn, 23 Missouri, 24 Notre Dame, and 25 USC jumps into the top 25 after not being ranked after last week. Sorry, I just went on a little bit of a rant there, but Miles had his rant earlier, so I guess we're just taking turns with that. But those are your college football first 3 weeks of college football all in a nutshell there. So there you go. But besides that, do you have any closing thoughts on college football, Miles?
No, it's just we're gonna start getting into some real primetime games. We're not gonna see, you know, people getting blown out by 70 anymore. So
Yep.
we're gonna see some real games, and we're gonna see some quarterbacks who have had easy wins now go into tough scenarios, and we're gonna see who the real quarterbacks are.
Yeah. If Arch Manning wasn't already being tested enough, good luck, schmucko. Okay, moving on now. We're going to talk about the NFL Week 1. Yes, we know we're talking about NFL Week 1 while NFL Week 2 is going on, but we'll save that for later on in the week when all the games have been played. But going back to Week 1 in the NFL, start off on Thursday Night Football with the Cowboys and the Eagles, two division rivals. Eagles won that 24-20. On Friday, the NFL Sao Paulo game between the Chargers and Chiefs. Chargers upset the Chiefs 27-21. I believe we got to talk about Justin Herbert in that one, Miles,
Yeah.
because that was a pretty big performance from Justin Herbert there.
Yeah, Justin Herbert balled out in Brazil. He played very good football against a very good team. Now, Justin Herbert passed 25 of 34 passes.
Wow.
He completed 25 of 34, excuse me. He had 318 yards, 3 touchdowns,
Holy cow.
0 interceptions.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah,
Against that Chiefs defense, too. That's pretty good.
that is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And what was the score of that?
27-21 Chargers.
Now we gotta keep in mind here that Xavier Worthy, I'm not sure what his injury.
He dislocated his shoulder. He's going to be out for a little while, like 1 to 2 weeks. He's week to week.
Yeah, that is brutal for the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't have Rasheed Rice. They don't have Xavier Worthy.
All they got is Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, and
Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown, and like Deontay Thornton, one of the Thorntons.
Yeah,
Yes.
but yeah. Well, I mean, this is great for my fantasy football team since I have Travis Kelce. So we're gonna see what happens. But Justin Herbert balled out. He played really good football.
Yeah. Next game, the game that me and Miles are going to pay particular interest to. Packers versus Lions. Packers upset the Detroit Lions in Lambeau Field. Packers 27, Lions 13. Go, Pack. Go, baby. Let's go. First game for Micah Parsons. And we have some stats to cover for the Packers as well the Lions because it was a really good game for the Packers.
Yeah. For the Packers, Jordan Love completed 16 out of 22 attempts, and he had 188 yards, excuse me, 2 touchdowns. That is impressive. 0 interceptions. He played very good against a very good secondary. You got guys like Brian Branch, DJ Reed. You have some big talent in that
He
secondary.
did get picked off one time, but it got called back. So, I mean, we're not going to talk about it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I loved what Love did. And Josh Jacobs, he had 19 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown. He was shut down a little bit more. The run game was held back pretty nicely. And on his touchdown, it was just a short little run in play. Romeo Dobbs led the team in
Receiving yards.
receiving yards. He had 2 receptions, 68 yards. So you could tell that Love was spreading out the ball to all his receivers. Tucker Kraft caught a touchdown. You had a bunch of different guys scoring.
Malik Heath also made
Malik Heath,
made an incredible
man,
catch down the sideline, getting
I
some
w-
good separation, and
it was
that was a
amazing.
great catch.
I was I loved it. Jaden Reed should have had no wait. Jaden Reed had a touchdown, didn't he?
He did have a touchdown, yes.
Okay,
And then
good. I don't know why I was bouncing around here.
Tuck.
But going to the Lions side of it, Jared Goff, he threw a lot more than Jordan Love did. He threw 31 of 39. So
All
he
right.
completed 31 passes for 225 yards, a touchdown, and an interception.
Mm.
David Montgomery had 11 carries for 25 yards, so there was a non-existent run game.
And Jameer Gibbs was worse than David Montgomery. Let's add that too.
That's shocking because Jameer Gibbs, I would say, is a top 5 running back
Oh
in
yeah,
this
for
league.
sure, for sure.
Sam Laporta had 6 receptions for 79 yards, so he played a very respectable game. But Jared Goff, all around, had no time to throw the ball, and that is a good Lions offensive line. That's one of the best offensive line in the league. But I'm going to tell you why he had no time. First of all, Devontae Wyatt has been a force of habit and a freak of nature going into there, which is something we don't usually think of Devontae Wyatt
No,
getting in
no.
and sacking the quarterback, but he
Mhm.
had a sack in that game. Now, my favorite defensive scheme I've seen in this league has been what the Packers' Jeff Hafley has put on the field, and it's a play where Lucas Van Ness, Micah Parsons, and Rashawn Gary are all in there, all going in. Now, all those guys have sacked the quarterback once, and that is an exciting thought. Lucas Van Ness has looked phenomenal. He has really proven me wrong when I call him a bust as the 13th overall pick. He has played like the 13th overall pick this season, and I'm really excited to see where he can go.
Now that it is a little bit in part due to Michael Parsons now being on the team, and you have to focus more on Parsons and Rashawn Gary. But even with that, Lucas Van Ness has still been pretty good this year.
Right, that's exactly what I was about to get to. Micah Parsons
Sorry.
has no, it's okay. Everyone's thinking it. Micah Parsons has made this Packers defense better. Now, the cornerback room, it's iffy. Let's be honest.
But that again, with Michael Parsons being added, that does help the team because that doesn't put a whole lot of pressure. Well, it puts pressure on the DBs, but not as much pressure as there was last year.
Right, because now you got guys like Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, Devontae Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness, a bunch of other guys getting in there. Edgerrin Cooper
Yes,
led the
Cooper.
team in tackles. Oh
Quay,
my gosh, he's
Quay,
going to be a superstar.
Quay Walker's also
Quay
he's
Walker
there.
looked phenomenal.
He's
Another
there.
guy who I think I've called a bust, but he looked really good. And those guys are getting in and getting after the quarterback, which is causing the quarterbacks to make bad decisions, which is why Jared Goff, a normally accurate quarterback, because he has so much time in the pocket, threw an interception.
Now the Lions did lose one of their offensive linemen into retirement this year, but even
Right.
still, that offensive line for the Lions is still one of the best because they got Tate Ratledge in the draft this year, and Tate Ratledge is a really good football player as well in the trenches.
Yeah.
Do you got anything else for the Lions and Packers?
Well, I just have to say that, all around, it's been very exciting to watch the Green Bay Packers and what Micah Parsons has done so far already in one game. He has brought a different kind of life to this Packers team. You got to remember, Packers are 0-2 against the Lions last year,
Yep.
and we were really embarrassed. We
Mm-hmm.
were 1 and
Yep.
6, 1-6.
Yeah, since like 2022 or 2023.
1-6 against NFC North teams last year,
Yeah.
which is awful. That's completely embarrassing. And I think winning against the Lions, who were very clearly better than us last year, is huge. And it's crazy what one person can do. So all I got to say is thank you, Jerry.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Isaac Tislaw, rookie receiver for the Lions, making a crazy catch for his first NFL
Jeez.
reception, scoring the only touchdown that the Lions scored on Sunday. And Isaac Tislaw also caught another incredible catch today in
Yeah,
week 2. We'll talk about that later in the week.
right.
But continuing on, Cardinals versus Saints. Cardinals went to New Orleans 120-13. Next game that we got to talk about, the Miami Dolphins versus Indianapolis Colts. The Dolphins 8, Indianapolis Colts 33 on the board. How about that? My grandpa was very, very happy after that game. He's a Colts fan, guys. I'm sorry. But he was very happy after that game. I know that for sure.
Guys, I don't think I could have been any more shocked with how this ended up.
I don't think anybody was expecting this.
Well, first of all, this is something that I think I somewhat expected because I said in the past, the Dolphins are a sinking ship.
Yes.
The Dolphins are not good. Like,
No.
right, Tua's going to be gone within the next 2 years. Mikey
McDaniel.
Mikey McDaniel is going to be gone. He's going to be gone probably within this year. And this team is not going to be good. And when you let Daniel Jones complete 22 out of 29 passes for 272 passing
272.
yards.
You kidding me?
272.
Holy cow.
He had 272 passing yards. He had 26 rushing yards. He had 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 passing touchdown. You're telling me you're letting a terrible quarterback score 3 touchdowns on you? I was shocked.
You're letting the guy that while running for a touchdown was at the 10-yard line and then just suddenly slipped out of nowhere and didn't score the touchdown. You're letting that guy score
That
3
guy.
touchdowns?
That guy. They call
Wow.
him Danny Dimes. No, he's not Danny Dimes. He was, as Andrew says, Danny Quarters today or Danny Dollars. And
Or Indiana Jones. I really like that nickname though. I
yeah,
do like the Indiana Jones
because he was swinging into the end zone, and it was very impressive.
Bum
How?
bum bum.
Oh God, what are we doing?
Sorry guys. Sorry about that.
But Daniel Jones, yes, he played phenomenal football. Tua, on the other hand, only had 1 touchdown, but he had 2 interceptions. It's terrible.
Yikes.
I mean, our boy Hunter Wooler wasn't even in there, and he was still getting picked off. So it's crazy.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Hunter, real quick,
He's out for the season.
he broke his foot. Shout out to Hunter. Hope you get well soon, buddy.
Yeah, get well soon. That's an OG here in the studio. We love him. He was on the show. So we hope he gets well soon, and we all know, watch out for Hunter Wooler next year because he's going to be coming at you.
Next year is his year, baby.
Oh yeah. Oh
All
yeah.
right. We got a couple string of games that we got to talk about. Next one, Raiders versus Patriots. Raiders won the game 20-13 in Foxborough in New England. All right.
Whew.
That was a great game
Well,
for Geno Smith.
Yeah, Geno Smith. He completed 24 for 34 passes. He passed for 362 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. He played very good football.
I think I might have underrated the Raiders, unfortunately, because I didn't. Yeah, I think I might have been so wrong about the Raiders. Geno Smith, Pete Carroll, Ashton Genty. I think I might have been completely wrong about that for week 1, but it's just week 1. I want to say that. So sorry, Raiders fans, but yeah, Patriots fans, you also suck. The Patriots also suck. But I might have been wrong about the Raiders there. What else you got, Miles?
That is it for that game.
Oh, really? That's just it?
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
what we got.
I thought I guess Ashton Genty. Wow, I couldn't speak there for a second. Didn't have a great game either. Next game, Steelers versus Jets. Oh boy, this was a game. This was a game to be sure. A good game. This was a good game. 34 Steelers, Jets 32.
Yeah, I was really excited about that game. I watched the entire game, and let me tell you some of the stats for that. Now, Justin Fields, he balled out in his Jets debut. Even though the Jets lost, he played very good football. So for passing yards, he completed 16 out of 22 attempts.
Okay.
He passed for 218 yards, a touchdown, 0 interceptions.
Oh, nice.
Now let's talk about his rushing. He had 48 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns.
All right.
It was a very good game for Justin Fields. Now, he was not the only one who played very good football. Aaron Rodgers also played very good football. He completed 22 of 30 attempts. He passed for 244 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Holy cow.
0 interceptions. That man is 41 years old, and he just tossed for 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And he was, I believe it was 0-6 in week 1 debuts. And that goes all the way back to when he was on the Packers.
Yeah.
And then, obviously the Jets tearing his Achilles. he had one of his worst losses ever in week 1, right?
Last year.
And then
Last
he
year.
he broke that streak,
Yeah.
and he played very, very good football. Obviously, that wasn't the case week 2. We'll talk about that later in a different episode. But all around, the Jets Steelers game looked like a primetime game. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
It was not expected to be a big game. I expected it to be a big game. That's why I watched it. But it looked like a primetime game to me.
Yeah. Real quick update for the Brewers and Cardinals. Cardinals ended up being the Brewers 3-2. Unfortunately, so I believe that brings the magic number down for the Brewers still at 6 or possibly down to 7. Um, to win the division possibly, but that's neither here or there. Let's talk about the rest of the NFL. Giants versus Commanders. Giants lost 6-21. Washington beat them 21-6. Same thing. Panthers versus Jaguars. Panthers lost 10-26. Trevor Lawrence had a really good game as well. I think Travis Hunter as well had a solid debut for his NFL debut, I should say. Bengals versus Browns. Bengals just squeaked it out in Cleveland, and man, Joe Burrow, he really does not like Cleveland. 17-16, Bengals win. Yeah, I think Joe Burrow lost last year in Cleveland, and then like he lost the year before that as well.
Yeah,
Um, so I thought I'd just say that. Wasn't that also the place that he like tore his Achilles or tore his ACL in his debut?
it might have been. I'm trying to think. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it was like 5 years ago, so
Yeah,
I don't
but
remember.
I know like he does not like Cleveland. Buccaneers versus Falcons. Buccaneers won 23-20. 49ers versus Seahawks in Seattle. 49ers 17, Seahawks 13. Next up, Titans versus Broncos in Denver. Cam Ward's debut. Titans 12, Broncos 20. Real quick, I think Cam Ward played a really solid game. He looked pretty good in the pocket, and he just needs to get better receivers. But he definitely looks like a number one overall pick as a quarterback. I would say. You agree, Miles? Or
Yeah. I think he looked like a top pick in a draft on a bad team,
yeah,
and that's I think was the expectation. So the fact that it was even this close is impressive for the Titans, not the Broncos. Broncos played pretty poorly actually. Bo Nix had a disappointing
yeah,
sophomore debut, but
mm-hmm.
all around I think the Titans looked pretty good. It looked like Calvin Ridley and Cam Ward were really on point and
Yeah.
worked well together. So I think in a few years we could be definitely talking about the Titans as playoff contenders.
Or like later this year, we can see some improvement for Cam Ward
I
as
think
well.
improvement, yes, but I don't think we're going to
Yeah.
see them as real contenders
Oops, sorry,
for
I
a
just hit my
couple
mic, guys.
seasons.
Sorry. Yeah, I agree. Not playoff contenders, but
Right.
improvement.
Yeah.
Next, we got an ugly game: Texans versus Rams in LA. Texans 9, Rams 14. That was an abysmal game for to
Yeah.
watch. That's a
That
rough
was
game.
that was
Defensive
a
game.
that was a tough
A
game.
battle of two defenses in a game of who sucks less, as I
Right.
would say. And
That's
then
a good way to put it.
Sunday Night Football, Ravens versus Bills. This was a all-time great game, I should say. Ravens 40, Bills 41, and we got some stats to talk about there. I believe Miles has got some stats for it.
Yes, I do. So this was a great comeback win for the Bills as they won by 1 point. Lamar Jackson played pretty good football. He completed 14 of 19 attempts, which is not a lot at all. I'll tell you why later. He had 209 yards and 2 touchdowns, so really a pretty good game for him. The reason why Lamar didn't have the ball much, well, one reason was Josh Allen having the ball most of the time.
Yeah.
And the second reason was Derrick Henry, 18 carries for
Mm-hmm.
169 yards and 2
Yeah,
touchdowns.
that's a running
He
back
was
right
a
there.
beast.
Yeah.
That is a future Hall of Fame running back
Guy,
without a doubt.
running back that does not want to die
No.
in terms of career wise.
Everyone keeps saying that, it's done for him and every year.
He's hit the age cliff, but he refuses to fall down. He's walking across the sky right now off the
Yeah,
cliff.
he is playing very good football. Now Josh Allen on the Bills side, he completed 33 of 36 attempts, only 3 incompletions.
Wow.
And he had more than double of the completions that Lamar had. He had 394 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he had more rushing touchdowns, I believe, too. Both receivers, the leading receivers on both teams, Dave Flowers and Keon Coleman, both had over 100 yards receiving. So this was really an offensive shootout,
Yeah.
and it was a fun game to watch.
Yeah. Also, the Bills kicker, because Trevor Bass, the Bills kicker, went on IR. I believe it was Matt Prater, 17-year NFL vet, who
19.
19. Sorry, Matt Prater, but he just got signed like the Thursday before. Got there, did an interview, got a little warm up in Friday, got some kicks in, and then Saturday didn't practice. Sunday hopped in the game and hit the game-winning field goal. Like, how about that? Because like
Yeah.
Matt Prater thought he was done, but like then he got the call. So
Yeah,
how about that for
that's
uh,
great.
a return to the NFL? Excuse me, guys. There just had a little thing caught in my throat there. And finally, for Monday Night Football, Miles, will you say it with me here? Bears and Vikings. Vikings 27, Bears 24. The Bears
Still suck.
But yeah, little to be said here. Chicago Bears. What happened? What happened there?
I'll tell you what happened. Caleb Williams was too busy painting his nails to realize that the
Yeah.
Vikings have a good offense and they're
Yeah.
gonna come back.
Well, for the first half, JJ McCarthy looked like he looked
Oh,
replaceable.
I don't believe JJ McCarthy is going to be a phenomenal quarterback. I think he'll
no.
be a serviceable starter. But I think you have to be at least somewhat good to have Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason. Like you have to be somewhat good. Jordan Addison.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have those weapons, you at least have to know how to use them right, I guess. But
Yeah.
Vikings again, 27-24. That is your wrap on the week 1 of the NFL. Week 2 recap coming very, very soon on the show. But with that being said, we got to move on to our week 1 MVPs. And spoiler alert, they're all quarterbacks.
Well, Andrew, let's just pick them. Andrew, who do you believe your week 1 MVP would be?
Out of like all of these, because we have a list here.
Well,
Can
yeah,
I
and
say
I'm also going to put Derrick Henry on that board. We'll
okay,
put that.
can I say the list of the guys that we have up there?
Yeah, sure.
So we have Geno Smith. We talked about 24 for 34, 362 yards. 362 yards. Sorry, there. What? Yeah, Justin Fields. Sorry, and 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Aaron Rodgers, 22 for 30, 244 yards, 4 touchdowns. Justin Herbert, 25 for 34, 318 yards, 3 touchdowns as well. And besides that, Daniel Jones as well, 22 for 29, 272 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns. And then Josh Allen, 33 for 36, 394 yards, 2 touchdowns as well. And then Miles motioned to me over here in the studio, Justin Fields. He wants to.
Yeah, I would also like to see Justin Fields out there because he played very well. 3 total touchdowns. And
yes, he did play very good.
Yeah.
So my MVP, this is very tough because these are all really good good performances as well. I think I'm gonna have to go with Josh Allen. He's my pick. Completed the most amount of passes among everybody. Had the most yards out of everybody. Didn't have the most touchdowns, but still very, very good, and had no interceptions as well. And Josh Allen, we know, can use his legs as well. So I think Josh Allen has got to be my MVP for the week.
Yeah, that's a great pick, and I've been kind of going back and forth. Daniel Jones, Justin Fields, obviously they use their legs to the best of their abilities, but with Daniel Jones, he played a crappy team. Like you expect a quarterback to play good. So I'm gonna have to go Justin Herbert with his 25 completions, 34 attempts, 318 yards, and 3 touchdowns, just because he beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who I mean. The Chiefs speak for themselves. I watched The Kingdom on ESPN. That was very good.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chiefs are the dynasty, and there's no going against that. They're the 2020 dynasties, right?
Yes.
Of all of this decade, they are the best team. And Herbert showed them up, and Herbert had a poor performance in the playoffs. He had 4 interceptions. He really bounced back and played a phenomenal game.
Yeah. All right. And finally, with the NFL, staying with it real quick, we meant to talk about these earlier, probably before the season got underway, but these are some coaches that we believe are on hot seat, and this is also judging off of week 1's performance as well here. So looking up at our whiteboard here that you cannot see in our studio right now, we have the Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski, the Bengals head coach Zach Taylor. Kind of ironic those two are up there, considering they played each other. The Dolphins, Mike McDaniel, and the Titans, Brian Callahan. those are the 4 coaches that we
Who do
believe.
you think is most likely to get fired out of all those?
Ooh, I think the easy answer is Mike McDaniel, but
Yeah.
another guy, I would think Brian Callahan. I do not like Brian Callahan as a coach. I really don't like him. He just he seems uninspiring among the team. Lack of leadership as well. I feel like, but he does have experience with the Bengals being an offensive line coach. Maybe the Bengals are just trying to masquerade as the Rams being a head coach factory, coordinator factory. But it's clearly not working. So I really don't like Brian Callahan. I think that if besides Mike McDaniel, Brian Callahan would be the guy that I would say should get fired. Meanwhile, Kevin Stefanski, I feel like, has a reputation of being a leader and holding his players accountable.
Yeah.
And Brian Callahan, I really don't see that in him.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Mike McDaniel. I really do. And after he gets fired, I hope he gets an opportunity somewhere else because I really do think he's a very good coach and he should have the beginning of his stint with the Dolphins was actually pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just gone downhill. Get Tyreek Hill because
Okay.
he's been
Well, Tyreek Hill himself has gone downhill.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been bad for anything related to Hill. But I think Mike McDaniel again is the easy vote for he's going to be out. But my pick is actually Zach Taylor.
Really?
I think that yes, he brought him to the Super Bowl, but what has he done since then?
Yeah.
They've gotten
Yeah, fair point.
progressively worse every year. And yes, he's a good coach. All right, I'll give him that. He's going to go somewhere else and maybe do okay. But if you can't win with Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, listen, I get it. You have a terrible defense, but you have the best weapons in the entire league.
Yeah,
Like,
if you can't do anything with that, then
I get you can't stop you can't stop other teams' offense, but in the end, if it's a shootout, the Bengals should be winning every one.
yeah.
They shouldn't be in close games with the Cleveland Browns and 41-year-old Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't even be close to that game. I
Yeah.
get it, their defense is abysmal, but they have one of the best offenses, and they have arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and arguably the best wide receiver, and arguably a top 10 receiver. So, I mean, I don't even know how they're not blowing everyone out. So I think Zach Taylor, get a new face in there, and we'll see what happens. Hey, who knows? Maybe Mike McCarthy gets in there and turns that team around. That could be.
That would be kind of funny.
I would love that.
And it's kind of surprising that Zach Taylor is one of those guys that was in the McVay system, came out of the McVay tree, and really hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
You look at guys like Matt LaFleur wasn't with the Rams, was he, or was he with the 49ers?
No, he was at the Falcons.
Oh, he
But
was.
he was with the Shanahan
Yeah,
factory.
yeah, and then you got Vikings coach Kevin O'Connell he came from that McVay tree and
McDaniel was in the Shanahan
system.
tree.
So Zach Taylor is one of those guys that has come from the McVay and Shanahan. I'm gonna stay with the McVay thing here, but Zach Taylor is the guy that came from the McVay system and hasn't worked out. And then the Falcons got Raheem Morris as their head coach, and he came from the McVay system as well. So it's kind of interesting there. I thought I'd point that out there, but yeah, there you go. That's the wrap on the week 1 in a nutshell. Maybe a very big, very very crunchy nutshell. What am I saying?
I don't know.
Okay.
Now it's time for Shield's Spicy Situation.
Welcome to Shield's Spicy Situation. And we haven't had this in a hot second. So, today's Shield Spicy Situation is Jackson Dart will be the Giants starter before the trade deadline.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, so for Russell Wilson's Giants debut, he looked not great. Russell Wilson completed 17 out of 37 attempts.
Wait, that's like 20
That's 20 incompletions.
Wow.
For 168 yards.
You completed more passes. You had a better completion percentage than Russell Wilson in your game.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but Russell Wilson also led the team in rushing yards. He had 8 carries for 44 yards, so old man's moving. But this was a bad game. The Giants lost 6-21 to the Commanders.
Yeah.
And hate to spoil week 2, but the Giants lost again, and they was 37-40. I know I'm spoiling everything, but it
I,
went into overtime against the Cowboys,
I
and
promise I'm not listening, guys. I'm not listening to this.
Russell Wilson played a decent game, but I just don't see Russell Wilson fitting in with the Giants. I've never seen Russell Wilson fitting in with the Giants. Honestly, I saw Jameis Winston being a better fit for the Giants than Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
And I think Russell Wilson could be shipped out by the trade deadline.
yeah.
And at the trade deadline, we could see Russell Wilson playing for a team that maybe has an injured quarterback. What that could be, who knows? Maybe Mac Jones sucks and Brock Purdy's out longer than we thought, and Russell Wilson goes to the 49ers.
And that would be a sight for sore eyes for Seahawks fans. That's their worst nightmare. I'm pretty sure if we're talking like the mid 2000s, maybe that would be their worst nightmare.
Yeah, or we're looking at any other team that maybe will have a quarterback get injured, because we haven't really seen any serious quarterback injuries yet.
Yeah.
We will see that. We
Yeah.
do expect to see it. But Russell Wilson could be. He's a reliable veteran, and someone's gonna want him. I just don't see him fitting with the Giants. It's just
No.
weird. It's awkward when you think of Russell Wilson on the Giants. Like it's weird. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I think Jackson Dart fits this team. They traded up to get him, and I know they wanted to do a little Green Bay Packers, let him sit, let him marinate, right? And yes, sitting with Jameis Winston has been probably very beneficial.
Mhm.
And we all saw when Jackson Dart ate the dub with
Yeah.
Jameis. That is my favorite video. And Jameis is looking at the camera. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. But I think Jackson Dart really fits with this team and with Jameis Winston. Russell Wilson is the odd man out. And honestly, it was the three amigos with Tommy DeVito,
Oh yeah.
Jackson Dart, and Jameis Winston. I hate to know that Russell Wilson broke that up.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe the Giants will make a trade for Tommy DeVito from the Patriots. But yeah, I think Jackson Dart will be the starter, and I think he will play iffy. I think he'll be inconsistent, but I do think he will show flashes of superstar-ism.
Yeah. I guess getting let go, Tommy DeVito now has the opportunity to go pursue his career in acting with those progressive commercials. Those are all really good.
I love the backup progressive commercials.
Yeah, me too. All right, I think with that being said, I think we have covered everything except our final segment of the day. We have to talk about expansion and realignment in Major League Baseball. Now, this was brought up maybe a month or a little bit closer to a month ago, and we wanted to talk about it then, but I think we kind of forgot about it because we had better things to talk about at the time, but we're talking about it now. So, Rob Manfred spoke to the media and basically in a nutshell said, I want to leave an impact on the sport before I retire in 2029. That's when his contract is up. And I want to get this league to expand one more time. And so he's looking to add 2 more teams to Major League Baseball. And this will be the first time that MLB has expanded, I believe, since the early 2000s with the Florida Marlins and I believe the Houston Astros as well. So it's been about 20 years since we've had expansion, but it looks like that could be soon on the horizon. And there's been a couple cities that have been kind of floating around, and I made up one city that's in here as well. So Nashville, Charlotte in North Carolina, Raleigh as well has been in consideration as well, but I'm kind of counting that as the same thing. Utah and Salt Lake City, Portland and Oregon, and then the one I made up is Orlando, but that kind of seems like a long shot. What do you think, Miles, about that?
I think it's great. Actually, I picked for my 2 teams, Nashville and Salt Lake City. Are we good to share what we think our team names could be?
Yeah, and I picked Charlotte and Portland, even though Portland seems very unrealistic at this point because some people have told me that are more familiar with Portland that it's a dying city, as the person told me who shall remain anonymous for purposes of this video. Video. What am I talking about? Episode of Talking Sports. But yeah, Miles picked Nashville and Salt Lake City. What do you have for your names there?
Well, for Nashville, I think this one was pretty obvious from the get-go. Nashville Stars.
All
I
right.
think it had to be something music. It had to be something with, stars. So Nashville Stars, actually, there's a little bit of a story behind here.
Okay.
So the Nashville Stars were a team in the 1950s. They were a Southern Negro team, and this would be a great way to honor them because obviously we've seen in the MLB in recent years that the MLB has done a very good job honoring the Negro leagues and the Negro teams because honestly they were a very important part to baseball.
Yeah, without them, we would have Jackie Robinson or Satchel Paige,
Right.
or several other guys that I'm kind of forgetting about. Buck O'Neill. I don't think Miles has ever. Have you heard of Buck O'Neill?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, you have heard of Buck O'Neill.
Yeah.
Anybody else that you've heard of?
I can't remember any names off the top of my head here.
John Donaldson was a incredible two-way superstar. Biz Mackey could play all positions on the field as well. Martin Dehigo was from Cuba, and he came over to the United States and played in the Negro Leagues as well. So a couple of names there. As for me, I have the Charlotte Tide because Charlotte is closer to the beach than Portland. I wanted to say the Portland Tide, but Portland's not really on the ocean, on the Pacific Ocean. So I went with the Charlotte Tide. And
I like
Portland,
that.
I went with the Portland Lumberjacks. And kind of similar to what the Cincinnati Reds have going. The Cincinnati Reds have a shortened name. It's the Cincinnati Redlegs. For anyone who didn't know that. Miles didn't know that.
I did not know that.
So eventually down the line, it could be eventually be the Portland Jacks.
I
think that could be kind of
cool. Really like that. That actually is my favorite one out of all the teams.
Yeah.
The Portland Jacks.
What did you say your Salt Lake City one or?
No, I have not.
Sorry,
my Salt Lake City one is the Salt Lake City Mountaineers.
All right.
And I know Andrew was a little bit against this in the beginning.
Well, it's just boring.
It is boring, but it's Salt Lake City that's boring.
Yes.
The Mountaineers, the mountains, the Mountaineers, it's a great. I was also thinking Salt Lake City Hikers, but I don't really like that. Mountaineers is more fancy without being fancy, you know what I'm saying? But I really liked your Portland Lumberjacks one.
What about the Bees? Because I know that's an actual AAA team.
The Bees, that's what I was struggling because it is the B state or whatever. So I think there's a good chance that they could be the Salt Lake City Bees, which is not very intimidating at all. But I think I just cannot get over the Portland Jacks.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. Miles is scared of bees because he got stung about 12 different times. At one point.
Oh, it's over 20 at this point. Dude. But I'm not scared no more. They can come get me. They know where to find me. Yeah.
All right. I think with that though, I think that's really much about it for all the cities. We have to what?
Leave in the comments what maybe a city or a team name that you would want for the MLB.
As for like the expansion draft as well, it would kind of be a thing where teams, the 30 current MLB teams, would have everyone on their roster. They would have a certain number of players that they can protect, prospects, major league players, and they would choose to protect those. But from the pick of the litter that the two teams can choose from, it's players that are not protected by the current team. So that's how the expansion draft will work. And in addition to getting a draft pick, and I bet they would get some extra draft picks too, like in some compensation rounds, because they really can't do much. And free agents as well. They probably get a good amount of pick and say who they sign as well.
Yeah.
But I think with that, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, long episode here.
Yeah, big episode. Oh yeah, big episode. It's gonna be close to tying our
record here.
Longest episode. Should we try to do that? Should we?
No, we are not gonna try to do that. But that's all we got for today, folks. Thank you for listening.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Miles.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See ya.
Bye.